Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to learn about data types. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, I'm going to create a new file in Python. So I'll just type data types.py, and since we are going to learn about data types, I'm just going to go ahead and mention the name over here of today's topic, which is data types. So data types is a very important topic, guys. If you are programming anything, you need to know what type of data you're storing or what type of data you're getting back from any of the output. Don't you worry, you are going to learn more about this in the future videos, but today what we are going to learn is that what type of data there are, what type of data types there are, and how we store them into the variables. So we are going to take the example of variable x over here. So I'm going to define the variable as x, and it's very simple. Let me go ahead and deactivate my Copilot so that it doesn't give me any suggestions, and we learn it very well without any suggestions. Okay, so we have deactivated Copilot. Guys, if you don't know about Copilot, it's a very useful tool in programming. It's a new tool that has been created by GitHub. It's an AI which helps you write your code. If you are working on a big project, or even if you're working on a small project and you want to get some suggestions of the codes, you can definitely use this thing. Now, coming back to the topic, let's go ahead and learn about data types. So the first data type that we are going to talk about is a type of text type. So let's see what are the kind of data types we have in text type. So in text type, we just have one data type, which is string, and it is denoted by str, right? So what is string? It's you can simply store a string into the variable like this. We have seen a lot of examples of this in the previous videos as well. So let's say if you have variable x, you just need to write x, and any information that you write between these two semicolons, you are going to get anything that you write into this double inverted comma is going to be considered as string. So you can write this is my string, okay, or any word or any sentence that you want to write, you can write in between this, and this will be considered as string. The next data type that we are going to talk about is of numeric types. So there are three data types that falls under numeric types. The first one is int, the second one is float, and the third one is complex. So let's see how we write these data types and store them into the variable. Again, we are going to take the example of x variable. So this is our variable name, and you just need to write is equal to sign after that. And if you want to have int type in it, then it's very simple. You just type the integer. Well, int stands for integer, and that's all. You will get your integer. Okay, so this is int type. I'm just going to go ahead and write it over here so that we understand this is int. And let's say if you want to have a floating number, right? So this float stands for floating number. So any number which has decimal in it is a floating number. So let's say if you want to convert this, not convert, but if you want to store 20.5, then it becomes a float number, float data type. Now, if you want to have complex in it, you can just write 20j, and this becomes your complex. We are going to learn more about this. This might be something new for you, but don't you worry, just understand this is one type of data type, and we will learn more about this in the future videos when we are going to cover each and every data type one by one. Let's go ahead and understand about the next thing, which is sequence types. So Python also has some data types which are sequence types. The first one in that is list. The second one in that is tuple, and the third one is range. Let's go ahead and see what are these things and how we store them into the variables. So we'll talk about the first one, which is list. And in list, all we have to do is we just write x, and after that we just need to have these two brackets. Once you have these square brackets, you can start mentioning the values in it within this double inverted commas, like car. If you want to add another one, you just write bike. If you want to add another one, you write truck, like this. So this is how you store list in a variable. Okay, again I'm going to write what type of data it is in front of it. Then the second one is tuple, and let's see how tuple is defined. So in tuple, all you need to do is you need to have these kind of brackets, and you can start mentioning the values in it like this, one by one. And you can also mention something like this, right? So this is how you define tuple. Now you must be wondering, we somehow store similar kind of values in these two things. So why do we have different brackets over here? Well, there are, as I told you, different data types has different functionalities, and they help you do different things. So we'll learn more about them in the future videos when we are going to cover list as well as tuple. We'll understand what's the difference between them and how we can use them in each and every situation. So let's go ahead and understand the third one, which is range. And range is a simple one. All we have to do is we just need to write range, and in these brackets we just need to write the number of range. So as you understand, range is nothing but from 0 to 1, 0 to 6, 0 to 12. What's the range? So here you just need to mention the number, and it will understand there's a range between 0 to 6. As you understand, in programming, the number starts from 0, and hence range is between 0 to 6. It's not like 1 2 3 4 5 6, but it is between 0 to 6. Okay, so this is range, and this is how you define range and store them in the variable. Let's go ahead and understand the next data type, which is mapping. Okay, so mapping is again a different data type which has only one type of data type, which is dictionary, and it can be denoted by dict. Okay, now if you want to store a dictionary in variable x, this is how you define it. So you need to have these brackets like this. Okay, and in dictionary, it's a very good kind of data type which I mostly use in my programming, wherein we can associate one value to one particular type of another type of value. For example, let's say if we have a list of students, and wherein we have to define the name of the students, we can do like this: name, and we can associate name and give it a value as John. And let's say if you also want to have age, you can have age and give it a value of 35. Oh, students wouldn't be 35 years of age, right? That would be my age. So let's go ahead and give the age as what do you think the age of the student would be? What do you think if the student is in his college or her college, what would be their age? If you know, you can correct me in the comment section below. Well, I'm going to write 21 years over here. So this would be the age of the student. And this is how we define dictionary, and it's very very useful data type, wherein we are going to use it most of the time in the programming languages. Now the next one is set, and that comes under set types. So there are set types wherein we have set as a data type, and we also have frozen set. Okay, now let's go ahead and see how you define set and store it into the variable. It's very simple. All you have to do is have the brackets the way we have in dictionaries, and over here we are not going to associate it with any of the data. We are just going to write it one by one, like car, bike, or truck. And this is how you have your sets. Okay, I'm going to write it like set over here. Now let's move on to frozen set. And what are frozen sets? How we define that? So in frozen set you have the same thing. However, you can have frozen set as this. You just need to write the word frozen set and have all these things under this kind of brackets, and that's how you store your frozen sets into the variables. Now the next one is also a very important one, which helps you define your logics in programming, which is of Boolean type. So Boolean type has only one data set, which is bool, or we call it as Boolean. However, if you want to denote it, we say bool. Okay, and now let's go ahead and see how we can store Boolean in variable. Let's go ahead and check that. So if you have anything written as true or false like this, that's your Boolean. Now let's go ahead and check the next one, which is binary types. So in binary types we have different types of data sets. There are three majorly. So one is bytes, the next one is the next one is byte array, and the third one is memory view. And let's see how we store these type of data types in a variable. So the first one, which is bytes, for bytes all we need to write is b, and in double inverted commas we can write any string or number, which like this, hello world, right? Or you can write apple or anything like such, and you can store your byte types in a variable like this. So let's go ahead and write over here what type of data type it is, which is bytes. The next one is byte array, right? How do you define byte array? So all you need to do is write byte array, and in these brackets you just mention the numbers like this, 5, 6 or 12. It will store the number and the byte array over here. So let's say we write 4 and leave it like this, and this becomes our byte array data type. Oh, I forgot to mention bytes over here. Okay, so the first one is bytes and the second one is byte array. Let's go ahead and understand the third one, which is memory view. Now in memory view, it's very simple again. You just write memory view, okay, and in memory view we write byte types. So we write bytes, and in bytes we write the number, and this is how we store and get the memory view. Just to give you a hint, it will give you the place wherein anything is stored in the memory, right? So don't you worry, we are going to learn more about this in the coming videos. Then let's go ahead and understand the last data type, which is none type. So none type data type is again a very simple one, right? So the none type, how we store value as none. All you need to do is you write the name of the variable and then you just write none. Now what does that mean? What is none, and why do you need to store none over here? So for example, let's say if you have any variable which has some values but you want to change it to none later on, you can do it by like this. So for example, I have x is equal to 2, then after some calculation between these two, I want to change it to none, and this will be denoted like this. So this is how we assign none to our variable, and it's very important. You'll learn about this in the future videos. For now, this is all about data types, and if you just want to understand what is none, actually it is none. So let's say x over here has no value. This none defines that x has no value, and hence we have mentioned it as none. Okay, I'm again going to go ahead and write none in front of this so that we remember and understand this. So that's all, guys, for today's video. We are going to make more videos on these topics in the future videos, so stay tuned and we'll get to know more. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe the channel, because there are a lot of people who are watching the videos but not subscribing it. It's really heartbreaking, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel. It really supports me. And also please write any comments if you want to understand anything, or if you have any thoughts, you can write in the comment below. Also like the video, it really motivates me to make more videos like this. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.